Self-love, something that can be easily neglected. It's easy to forget to take care of ourselves, both physically and emotionally. Many of us struggle with self-doubt, criticism, and feelings of unworthiness. This lack of self-love can lead to issues such as low self-esteem, poor mental health, and unhealthy relationships. When we don't love ourselves, we might seek validation from others. And let's be honest, getting validation these days is near impossible. Because when a person shows vulnerability, it's often used against them. When we don't value ourselves, we can become susceptible to negative influences and settle for less than we deserve. Now, the reasons of self-hatred can vary from person to person. They can reach from poor body image or dissatisfaction with one's appearance. That can lead to negative feelings towards yourself. Setting unrealistically high standards and being overly critical on yourself when failing to meet them can also result in self-hatred. So dwelling on the past mistakes, failures, or regrets without forgiving yourself makes it hard to look at yourself otherwise, which is why self-forgiveness is the key to self-love. Start by acknowledging what happened without denying or minimizing it. Accept responsibility for your actions. Then consider the circumstances that led to your actions. Understanding the context can help you see why you made certain decisions, therefore reducing harsh self-judgment. This might sound weird, but write a letter to yourself, expressing remorse and offering forgiveness. This can be a great way of letting go. So please understand that everyone has flaws and makes mistakes. Accepting your imperfections can help you forgive yourself and have a better image. Be patient with yourself and celebrate the progress you make along the way. Each person has their way of achieving self-love. It's a journey that involves having a deeper understanding and appreciation of yourself. It begins with self-awareness, taking the time to reflect on your strengths, your values, and your passions, as well as accepting your imperfections. This process requires reframing negative self-talk, replacing it with positive statements about you. Self-care is another essential role, which includes prioritizing physical and emotional well-being. So, learn to be compassionate with yourself. Treat yourself the way you would treat others, because without loving yourself, loving someone else could be a huge problem.
So, why is it important to love yourself before loving someone else? The answer is simple. You can't pour from an empty cup. When you love yourself, you set a standard for how you want to be treated. You won't settle for less because you know your worth. This foundation of self-love allows you to engage in healthy relationships where love is given and received freely. You are less likely to tolerate mistreatment or settle for less than you deserve. This inner confidence enables you to set boundaries and communicate your needs clearly, granting mutual respect and understanding. Self-love helps you approach relationships from a place of abundance rather than neediness, reducing the risk of becoming overly dependent on your partner for validation or happiness. So when you don't love yourself, you might find things that your partner does unnecessary or not at the same standard as you, when in reality, it's your standards that are unhealthy. Criticizing yourself might lead you to criticize your partner, so don't allow the lack of self-love that you have affect your relationship. Work on fixing it instead. Some couples react based on their partner's mood. If you are negative all the time, then so will they. Relationships require the utmost of people, so not giving it your all might be its downfall. And who knows what sort of extra self-hatred that will cause you. So to avoid that, you need to learn how to love yourself, for others, but most importantly, for you. No one else will benefit more than you will.
Now we learn that when it comes to love, we are the priority. We are the person whose level of self-love will affect our relationships, mood, and standards. It's going to play a big part in contributing to feelings of sadness and anxiety. This emotional rabbit hole can lead to a vicious cycle where your self-esteem is in the floor, making it difficult to find joy or motivation. Our emotional well-being suffers, and we may find ourselves overwhelmed by stress and unable to cope effectively with day-to-day tasks, becoming a shell of what we were. So instead, you need to aim higher, dream bigger, recognize your potential, and be more willing to take risks and pursue your goals. Just remember that this process isn't about perfection. It's to achieve the sense of inner peace that it brings. When we accept ourselves, flaws and all, we stop striving for an unattainable idea and begin to appreciate us for who we are. To end this video, I want to thank my good friend Wonder for helping me make this video. Please do check him out. I will link his channel in the description. And don't forget, love yourself.